Hey there, explorers. Before we dive into the mysteries of our ancient past, don't forget to subscribe to the Prehistoric Tally. Hit that like button, share this video with your friends, comment below your thoughts, and tap the notification bell so you'd never miss an adventure into the past. Now, let's travel back tens of thousands of years to meet the very first humans on Earth. Imagine a world untouched by cities, roads, or machines, a world of endless forests, vast savannas, and roaring rivers. Here, long before any written history existed, our earliest ancestors roamed, hunted, and discovered the wonders of life. These were the first humans, creatures not so different from us, yet shaped entirely by the harshness of nature. The story begins in Africa, often called the cradle of humanity. Scientists believe that the first species of Homo, our human ancestors, appeared around 2.8 million years ago. They were hunters and gatherers, walking upright, learning to use their hands in ways no other animal could. Their lives were full of danger, from predators lurking in the shadows to sudden changes in the climate. Yet they survived, adapted, and thrived. One of the most fascinating species was Homo habilis, known as the handyman. These early humans were among the first to craft simple stone tools. Imagine picking up a sharp rock and realizing it could cut meat, scrape hides, or even defend against a wild animal. Every stone chipped was a step forward in the journey of intelligence. These early inventors paved the way for future generations. As centuries passed, another species appeared. Homo erectus, taller, stronger, and smarter. They were the first humans to migrate out of Africa, spreading across Asia and Europe. They learned to control fire, a breakthrough that changed everything. Fire provided warmth on cold nights, a way to cook food safely, and protection from dangerous predators. Around the flickering flames, they could gather, communicate, and imagine stories about the world around them. Life was still harsh. Hunting for food required courage and skill. Early humans tracked animals for days, using intelligence and cooperation to survive, and they gathered fruits, nuts, and roots, slowly understanding the patterns of nature. Every day was a lesson in survival, every experience a test of ingenuity and resilience. Over time, the Neanderthals evolved in Europe and Western Asia. They were strong, resourceful, and capable of deep emotion. Archaeologists have found evidence that Neanderthals cared for their sick and buried their dead, showing that even in prehistoric times, humans were capable of compassion and culture. The Neanderthals also created tools more advanced than their predecessors' flint blades, spears, and even decorative objects that hinted a sense of identity and creativity. Meanwhile, in Africa, Homo sapiens modern humans were emerged around 200,000 years ago. They began to show remarkable cognitive abilities. They painted on cave walls, carved figures from stone and bone, and developed language that allowed knowledge to be shared across generations. Imagine the first whispers of stories being told by firelight, passing down lessons that would help their children survive in an unpredictable world. Migration became a key part of human life. Modern humans journeyed across continents, encountering Neanderthals, adapting to freezing Ice Age landscapes, and discovering new resources. Each migration brought challenges, yet also opportunities for learning, cooperation, and innovation. These journeys were the first steps toward the interconnected world we know today. Early humans were also the first scientists, in a sense. They experimented with tools, fire, and even early forms of art and ritual. They observed animals, plants, and the seasons, learning how to predict the movements of prey or the best time to harvest roots. Every discovery, no matter how small, was a victory for survival and progress. The story of our first ancestors is not just one of survival, it's a story of curiosity, creativity, and resilience. From the simple tools of Homo habilis to the sophisticated hunting strategies of Neanderthals and the cultural achievements of Homo sapiens, humans slowly transformed the world around them. They learned to bend nature to their will, creating fire, shelter, and eventually communities that would evolve into civilizations. Even in the face of danger, starvation, and harsh climates, the first humans pressed forward. They were explorers, innovators, and storytellers long before writing existed. They shaped the planet in subtle ways, cutting paths through forests, using fire to manage land, and leaving traces that modern scientists can still study millions of years later. And though their lives were fleeting, their impact was eternal. Every step they took, every tool they crafted, and every story they told laid the foundation for our species. When you walk through a modern city, drive on a road, or even cook a meal, remember that the journey started here with the first humans, facing a wild world with nothing but courage, ingenuity, and the desire to survive. So next time you look at the stars, remember that your ancestors once stood under the same sky, wondering, imagining, and dreaming of a future they would never see. And thanks to their legacy, here we are, curious, creative, and ready to explore the next chapter in the story of humanity. If you loved this journey to the dawn of humanity, don't forget to subscribe, share with friends, comment your favorite part, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an adventure into the past. The story of our ancient world is endless, and there's so much more to discover. Join us for the next tale from the Prehistoric Tales.